Right, new city, new beginning, new chapter, and you know what? I am excited. This is the next stage of my life, the next stage of my Amazon journey, and it is really, really fun. I talk to people and I tell them your life is what you make it. And like I said before, if you ever watched my last video, is to say that Hanoi, which is where I was, and I'm in Vietnam right now, Hanoi was great, I loved it, but now I've made that decision to leave my friends and start afresh. Ho Chi Minh, southern Vietnam. Why here? Well, Vietnam hasn't been really affected by Corona and I can travel here. Today, this is about what I'm planning to do in July 2020 in my Amazon arbitrage business. But I'll just kind of give you a summary of what I want to talk about today. So, number one, bulk purchasing, which I think are going to really change the way you perceive doing arbitrage. Number two is exercise. This isn't just so much about me doing exercise, no. This is about me doing exercise, supporting my personal health and fitness in my Amazon arbitrage business, but also as well, supporting my team in the Amazon arbitrage business. And I'll explain how later. And then number three, I want to get out of here. I don't want to do all the filming in here. I want to share what I have changed in my Amazon arbitrage business as a result of changing my environment. And that's had a real impact. They're the three things I want to talk about. Let's get started. Now I want to talk about bulk purchasing. My brother-in-law, he owns his own procurement company, and I went and did some training with him 4 days. 4 days, and that was the reason why I started my first company. Now I learned from him that you could go to people and basically say, hi, I want to buy this product, and then they would come back and give you a price, and then you'd say, no, I want a discount. And it's really simple, like that is it. It's trade, it's negotiations, it's the concept of quite simply just saying, I'm not a normal customer, I want something special. And especially even now here in Vietnam, the price they show you isn't the price you pay. And in the West, we're so used to just paying the price, but the difference comes is when you start finding products that you are going to buy a lot of, or you want to buy a lot of. And as a typical example for me, as a minimum, I'm looking about £1,000. If I can spend more, then I'm going to be happy. When I get to that point, what happens is I can ask them, or I'm happy to, is to say, hey, can you give me a discount? Because I'm buying so much. Now, it's not to say that they're going to say yes. Most of the time they'll say no, but if the price is right and the quantity I'm buying and the reason why I'm buying is right, then they'll give you, sometimes they give you a discount. And that's game changing. You getting a product that other people want as well, but you are getting it for a better price. People just don't seem to realize this when they're starting out an arbitrage. They think the price you see is the price you have to pay. And that's not right. That's not true. Now, with that in mind, if I give you an example, we had a product that we're buying. It's not a cheap product, probably about £27. And we sent it for a good price to make a good margin on it. But interestingly enough, we looked at our sales and we said, we're buying quite a bit of it. Why not say, can we buy a bit more and then get a discount? So we basically went back to the supplier, and this is a retailer, by the way, not the manufacturer or even wholesaler, they're a retailer. We said we want to buy, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't huge, it was probably about £2,500 worth. And they came back and said, yeah, you would need to pay in advance. And we're like, yeah, not a problem. And they gave us a pro forma invoice, which is basically a quote, should we say. My purchasing manager did this, by the way, and he sent it back to me and he said, Tom, the supplier said yes. And I was like, great, cool. And I literally just pinged him back on Slack. Hey, quick thing, go back and ask for a discount. Let's ask for 20%. They came back and said yes. And it was like, what? And I was like, my God, I should have asked for more. And don't get me wrong, we're making good money on the product already, but we've just secured 20% extra off the price. Now they came back and said, we can only do it for this order. It isn't a repeatable order that we can do at that price. But the point is we've now just ordered probably 2.5 months supply of a product that we're really happy with, that we're going to sell at what is a much cheaper price than we originally paid. So it's a win-win. We've got the stock in, we're saving money, and we're now understanding that supplier can give us discounts on bulk purchases. So you know what? We now go back, have a look at other products that they're selling that we want to sell high volumes, and we'll ask the same question again. And that is the next level. This is the conversation between arbitrage and wholesale. Most people think arbitrage, you can only buy what you buy from the retailer online. That's it. And a lot of retailers, yeah, sure. Boots, for example, in the UK, you're right. They'll only allow you to buy 3 and they'll shut your account down when you're doing it. But other retailers are like, We really don't care. We just want to buy this stock and shift it. And if someone we're selling it to wants to buy £2,000 worth rather than £20 worth, we're happy to do that as well. We just want to shift the volume. Some retailers are really open to that. That is what we're looking at. That is making me more money. It's making my business more efficient because I can now get products that I struggled with before, maybe supply and demand. And then finally, it's about we're now going back and potentially finding more products that we couldn't find before. So super interesting and next level arbitrage stuff. I recently posted a picture on Facebook. Now, this was an order I made from a well-known online retailer. Now, interesting enough, quite a few people know the product that I ordered. They looked at the picture and said, I know who you ordered that from, and I probably know the product, because you know what? There's a lot of competition on it. That one order, I think, was maybe 3 products. It wasn't me, my purchasing manager purchased it, but we spent about £5,000 looking at the comments coming back, looking at what people were saying. People were like, oh my God, how did you order so many? How many accounts did you use? Did they not shut you down? What did they say when they questioned you why you're ordering so many? It was really interesting that they had all these questions because these are preconceived ideas. Like, what did they say when they asked you why you're ordering so many? Who's to say they actually even asked me that question? Because they didn't. How many accounts did you use to order this product? Who's to say I ordered multiple accounts? I didn't. I just put them on 3 orders on 1 account. Really simple. It's what did you do when they shut down your account, or how do you stop them shutting your account down? Well, quite simply, they didn't. They didn't shut my account down. It's really interesting in the fact that people saw that post and they were like, obviously they're like, well done, really good. But they had these preconceived ideas. They had these ideas that you just couldn't do that. And you're right, certain suppliers you can't. Boots, for example, you can't. But there are other suppliers who just don't care. They really don't care. And you know what? We not only bought that product, that £5,000 we spent, we didn't just buy that product in bulk. We bought that product with cashback and we bought it with a voucher code as well. And don't quote me, but I think the cashback tracked as well. And we got it for a price that was fantastic. And we understood that this price probably wasn't going to hang around. Hence why we bought £5,000 worth, and we got a really good price on it that other people didn't know about. So we got a really good voucher code as well. And that's going to give me really good sales for the next couple of weeks, if not months, depending. It's a very high volume line. But it was really interesting just how people had the assumption that you couldn't do what I had done. And as a result, they'd never tried. But I think if you're just trying to learn something, is to say, challenge everything. This is a fluid, dynamic marketplace, and it is up to you to challenge your preconceptions, to challenge what you're seeing on Facebook, you're in the forums, in the groups, on YouTube, but even what I'm saying, and to say, can it be done? Challenge the idea that you can't bulk buy from wholesalers or can't bulk buy from retailers. Challenge the assumption you can't get better discounts by asking when you bulk buy. That is going to change your Amazon game. So the next thing I want to talk about is exercise. Now, before I kind of get into it, let's get changed. Now, this next part about what I'm going to be doing in July 2020 might sound a bit crazy and you might get a bit switched off, but there are 2 really important parts to it. Number 1 is if you run an Amazon business, you are taking this big risk. You are trying to push yourself. You're probably working more hours than you would in a job, and you're taking more risk in your job. For what? To make a better life. When you make that better life, you want to be able to enjoy it. And to enjoy it, you need to be healthy. Exercise is great for stress. It clears your mind of all the problems you're having, and it allows you to come back clear and refocus on what you're doing. For me, a lot of times I'll have maybe 10, even up to 18-hour days, whereby I will break that up and do some exercise, and it just keeps me alert, keeps me on it. I found that when I don't do exercise, I'm getting slower and I'm causing problems and I'm doing things like just the process. But when I stop, when I exercise, I come back, I'm on it, but also as well, I'm challenging that process. It's that challenge which is going to drive your business forward. This isn't so much about a incremental change. You want an exponential growth in your business, and that is going to come from here. More than anything else you do, it is your mindset which will change everything. And to keep your mind happy and alert, exercise is key. So the second thing, I'm going to explain to you in a minute, but first things first, what I want to show you is the one exercise I do pretty much every day. It's really simple, it's really easy to do. I'll show it to you, and then I'll explain why and how it's changing my business for the better. Let's go. Right, okay, so I do one exercise which is called a burpee. Now this is effectively like a press up with a jump. I do this because you can do this at home in your house, super simple. If you want to know, I'm quite lazy. To get me to the gym is 10 minutes to get my kit on, then go to the gym, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then to go exercise and then come back 30 minutes. And I'm like, my God, I've spent nearly an hour exercising. I'm just not interested. So I do burpees at home, and I'm going to show you one. So let's do one now, and then I'll show you what I do, and then I'll tell you why it makes a difference to my Amazon business. So let's get started. So now I try and do 100 burpees, so 100 of those, 10 sets of 10, every single day. I feel better for it, my posture's improved, I'm not hunched over the computer, I feel better, I feel stronger, and I feel healthier. And it's really good to exercise. Now, the one question you might ask is, why am I interested in telling you about burpees? Quite simply for the fact that I can do it here at home. My staff are in the Philippines and they're locked down in Corona, so they're locked down as well. And the one part about them is that while they don't really talk about it, there's a lot of pressure on them to source deals, to purchase stock, to find and solve problems all the time, and to help overcome that culture difference, to help overcome that barrier of I am the boss, they are the worker, and they need to do everything that they say. Even though in UK culture we don't have that, in the UK we have a lot more communication, but in the Philippines, even if I talk literally gibberish, blah, 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 and say, does that make sense? They will say yes. And I'm not saying that my staff do that now, no, not much better, but I have done that test in interviews and I've had yes come back, which has been quite funny. So the one thing I'm really looking at trying to do is trying to build that bond between me and my staff, create buy-in, but also as well manage my health, but also as well manage the stress and the health of my team. So, well, we're doing burpees challenges. That means every single day my staff are doing burpees in their homes. We video them, we record them, we share them on a Skype group chat that we've got, and it's fun. It's really, really fun. Let's go for a shower and then let's get out of here. Let's go see a bit of Saigon. Let's go see a bit of Ho Chi Minh. Interesting. So we just arrived in this coffee shop. Now, I've never been here before. These are like apartment coffee shops there, really old buildings. Now, just over there, as he says, do something today that your future self will thank you for. This part of, now of my life is this next chapter. It's moving to Hanoi and also Ho Chi Minh. It is about growing, it's about pushing yourself forward, it's about building something now which is going to have a positive impact in the future, and you're going to reap the rewards long term. If we talk about it in the Amazon game, arbitrage, whereby you are buying a product and just reselling it, and then that's it. It's a constant cycle. It's effectively a job. It's a time for money equation. For me, what I'm really learning now is about trying to build in things which are going to help you scale, going to help you grow. This is maybe investing more money in one product, maybe looking more replenishable lines, trying to make it so that you can do more with less. There are things that I did when I was 25, 26, 27 that had a real impact upon my life that even today and into the future I will be reaping the rewards for, and I'm grateful for them. And at the time I made a sacrifice, and that's great. Moving to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, and I've been here a week, and I'm loving it. I really am. It's nice to have a change. Things in my life which have changed so far: number one, exercising. I'm really doing that. I've also feel that I'm actually connecting more with the team through doing the exercise, like the burpees. Also as well, I'm just challenging everything. Like, my Mondays used to be 10 hours long. I used to have back-to-back meetings non-stop. I'd be lucky if I had like a lunch break. And I kind of just question now, do I really need to be doing that? Is that adding value to my business? And that's really key. That ability to question everything and to reassess it all, because I've changed my environment, that has been super key. And in my previous video, when I said I'm leaving Hanoi, and I'll drop a link up there, I was very much about, I want to change me. I want the excitement back. And it's here. I love it. Honestly, it's fantastic. I go out, I meet new people, I've got new experiences, and it changes how I perceive my life. Now, an interesting thing someone asked me was like, hey Tom, how much money do you make from YouTube? I see you're doing a lot of work on it. And I was like, I don't make anything from YouTube. We're not monetized at all. Oh, thank you very much. And I said back to this guy, I was like, I just do it because it's fun. There's a lot of decisions I made in my life whereby I chose not to do one route, i.e. go down the pure money route, but I go down it because it's fun and I enjoy it. what have I changed in my Amazon business since coming to Saigon? Before I came here, I was doing a 3-hour work week. What have I changed? Well, I kind of just looked at it on the Monday and I said, I'm doing 10 hours back to back. And I said, do I need to do this? And I said, do I need to be in that meeting with the whole team every week? Because you know what? I'm actually micromanaging. I'm taking over. So now I've reduced it down to once a month, and I'll join the team meeting. We'll have a team meeting and I'll thank them all for the great results. So ironically, I've moved from 3 hours a week down to 2. The other things are as well, in my FastTrackFBA business, obviously the lead service we provide, we're expanding, we're growing, we're launching into America now, this is massive. I need to just manage that expectation. Beforehand, we're quite a small niche, and now we're growing to a team size of about 20, so it's big. Like, that's a lot of staff. That changes how I do everything. So from beforehand, I was very much in control, I was directing things. Now my conversations are changing very much about like, how are you feeling? You know, to my senior members of staff, my team leads, even my managers within the business, how are they, how their team leads, how their staff getting on, how are they feeling themselves? You know, questions are around, are you stressing? Are you worrying at night? And that's about stress. And then that's why we introduced the whole burpees challenge. And now we've got a whole group of people doing those burpees and their exercise. And that's fantastic. And I love it. I think there's 2 changes there that I've made in my business straight away. And I'm trying to extract myself more and more from the business. And I think the question comes is, when you find yourself doing something you've done already, let's say, for example, you're sourcing, whether it's creating a shipment or if it's doing the repricing. If you go, hey, I've done this already, why am I doing it again? It should be that you get the process, you understand how it works, and then you get someone else to do it. Because my God, if it's just something you do repetitively, you're not adding value. Your value is in another area of your business, which is creating more processes, creating more systems, scaling. It isn't in doing the day-to-day work. So I'm a big believer in looking at that and challenging yourself and saying, do I really need to be here? Or could someone else do it? And you know what? In my Amazon business, yeah, I don't make as much money as other people, and I'm not going to sit here and debate how much money I make. But on the flip side is to say that I live in a cheap country, I have a very low cost expectation in myself, how I live, and I have a really nice life for doing pretty much very little work. But I can very much say I work on the business, not in the business.